I got into art, I guess, really gradually over a long span of time. The only time I started drawing was like in class, just needing something to do, doodling on pages, drawing my teachers, cartoons, stuff like that. And I definitely did not take it seriously at all, probably until late sophomore year in high school was when I started posting things online and I got interaction with people that made me think, oh, this is something I can actually get into doing. But getting into art was really just like a call and response of like, oh, I saw a cool movie, I want to draw something from that. Or, oh, I read a great comic, I'd love to replicate that. And it was not something I was intent on ending up doing. Animation for me is something that I've kind of always wanted to do, but I just never really took the time until recently to put some heart into it. It's a really exhausting medium. In my animation course, in my first semester of college, it was all entirely hand-drawn, frame by frame, piece by piece, which I genuinely think is for no reason other than to scare off people that want to animate but don't have the commitment to actually put everything into every single drawing and still have it come out as a cohesive piece of movement. But for me, animating is also very cathartic. It's so interesting to literally draw out every single frame of a moving image and then get to see that in action. I was pretty proud of the project I finished with. It made it into a film festival at my college for animation, which I was super proud of as a first-year student. I think I have a very messy process. I don't think it's anything I've ever had down to a science and probably never will. It's usually some idea hits me and it's the smallest inkling of something. Like, I think of a character that would look cool or a small arc of a story, and I'll spend hours just thinking about how I can develop that more and coming up with nothing, and it's just grueling and exhausting. And no matter how much time I spend thinking about it, I cannot get the idea to blossom more. And then eventually I'll be on a walk or at a party and it'll finally hit what I need to be doing for it. And I think if I don't pursue it immediately, then I'm kind of screwed. So if I finally get the idea for what direction I want to take something in, no matter where it hits, I immediately have to go back to my dorm or my house or onto my sketchbook and get it down, or else I know for a fact I'm going to lose it forever. And then from there, it's just a matter of buckling down on it and, giving it the effort it deserves. The reason I make art is to translate things that I couldn't say with words entirely. I'm a very visual person, so if that means the way that I'm drawing something or the texture that I'm putting into something I painted, usually for me, that ends up being very weird and very surreal. Making art makes me feel like shit most of the time because so much of it is persistence. I think so many people talk about not being creative enough or not being skilled enough to do art, and I think that's bullshit. Because as long as you're living a life that you want to be living and you're taking in information, you're learning things, you're studying things, you're being passionate about things, you're always going to be creative enough to be making art.